Hey everyone! Amish farming practices, reading old agricultural journals, watching rare footage, and speaking to homesteaders who still live by their traditions. What I found was shocking. They're growing 30 incredible fruit trees most of us have never even heard of. And they do it without pesticides, fancy tools, or constant care. In this video, I'm going to show you the full list, including the tree that tastes like banana mango custard, the berry that needs to rot before it's edible, and the fruit that grows in freezing climates but tastes tropical. These aren't just plants. They're survival secrets passed down for generations. So, if you're tired of struggling with your garden, hit subscribe and stay tuned, because what you're about to see might just transform your backyard, and maybe even your lifestyle. Drop a comment below. Have you ever tried any of these Amish-grown fruits, or are you curious about growing one yourself? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences. Number 1. The pawpaw. Have you ever tasted a fruit that smells like banana and mango had a baby? That's the pawpaw, and it grows right here in North America. While most people chase exotic fruits from faraway places, the Amish have been quietly growing this tropical-tasting gem for years. It might not look fancy, but slice it open and you'll find soft, creamy flesh that's bursting with flavour. Some say it tastes like custard with a hint of pineapple. Others say it's like banana bread with a mango twist. Either way, it's unlike anything you'll find at the store. Pawpaws don't need perfect conditions to thrive. They grow well in cold climates where citrus trees would never survive. Amish families plant them in shaded spots where other fruit trees might struggle. These trees take their time, sometimes waiting years before bearing fruit. But when they do, they reward growers with pounds of sweet, fragrant harvests each fall. Beyond taste, pawpaws are full of surprises. Researchers are even studying them for possible health benefits, including anti-cancer properties. Birds love them too, so Amish families often build simple covers to save some for themselves. Pawpaws remind us that nature holds secrets worth discovering. And this is just the beginning. There's a whole orchard of forgotten fruit still waiting to be uncovered. Number 2. Serviceberry/Juneberry. When the first hints of spring warmth arrive in Amish country, everyone keeps an eye out for the delicate white flowers of the serviceberry. These trees are like nature's way of saying winter is finally over. Also known as Juneberry or Saskatoon, they're one of the first fruit trees to bloom each year. And when those berries ripen, families rush to pick them because they don't last long. The berries look a lot like blueberries but with their own special twist, a sweet flavour with a hint of almond. Kids love them, and Amish bakers turn them into muffins, pies, and jams that taste like sunshine in a jar. These treats freeze well too, so families can enjoy a bit of spring sweetness even in the middle of winter. Serviceberries aren't just tasty, they're full of iron and calcium, making them extra good for you. They grow well in partial shade, which makes them perfect for planting near chicken coops or along woodland edges. The Amish love how little care they need, especially compared to other fruit trees. Even the wood is useful. It's hard and straight-grained, perfect for tool handles that last for years. Some Amish elders still remember how bark was once brewed into tea for colds. This tree gives so much without asking for much in return. And it all starts with the very first taste of spring. Number 3. Autumn olive. Autumn olive isn't what you'd expect. It's not an olive at all, but a small shrub that thrives in Amish gardens with little care. Its silvery leaves shimmer in the breeze, making it easy to spot even from a distance. But the real treasure comes in late summer and early fall. Tiny red berries that ripen slowly, one by one. Unlike other fruits that rush to ripen all at once, autumn olives take their time. This makes them perfect for busy Amish families who can't afford to drop everything for a sudden harvest. The berries start tart and firm, then soften into sweet, nutritious bites packed with lycopene, even more than tomatoes. Amish farmers love how these berries support both people and wildlife. Birds flock to them, helping control pests naturally. Kids often help with the picking, learning patience as they choose only the ripest ones. The shrubs are tough, thriving in poor soil and dry conditions where other plants would struggle. They're also great at holding soil on slopes, preventing erosion without any extra work. Autumn olives don't demand much, but they give back plenty. Their berries make jewel-toned jams that brighten up winter meals. Some Amish families even dry them for snacks that last through the cold months. This slow, steady fruit teaches a lesson many appreciate. Sometimes, the best things come to those who wait. Number 4. The medlar. There's a fruit that doesn't taste good until it starts to rot, and the Amish have been growing it for generations. That fruit is the medlar. At first glance, it looks like a small, hard, greenish-brown apple. But don't take a bite yet. Trust the process. The Amish know that medlars need to go through a special kind of ripening called bletting. This means letting the fruit soften and start to decay before it becomes sweet and edible. It might sound strange, but once this transformation happens, the flavour changes completely, turning into something like spiced applesauce with hints of cinnamon and wine. These trees are tough and disease-resistant, making them perfect for low-maintenance gardens. They thrive in poor soil and cold climates where other fruits might struggle. Amish families often plant them near orchard edges, where they can grow undisturbed for decades. Harvesting medlars is a patient person's game. The Amish pick them after the first frost and store them in straw-lined boxes or baskets until they're ready. Once softened, they're used in jams, jellies, and even fermented drinks. Some families keep old recipes passed down through generations, each one slightly different from the last. This unusual fruit also has historical charm. Once popular in medieval Europe, medlars faded from modern gardens. But the Amish kept growing them, preserving a piece of agricultural history. And this is just another example of how the Amish find value in what others might overlook. There's still more to uncover, so stay tuned. Number 5. The American persimmon. There's a fruit that teaches you patience like no other. The American persimmon. This tree might look ordinary most of the year, but when autumn comes, it transforms into something special. Covered in small orange fruits, it waits for the perfect moment to reveal its sweet surprise. The Amish know that picking a persimmon too soon is a mistake. Eat one before it's fully ripe, and your mouth will pucker so hard it could win a contest. But wait for that first frost, the signal that the fruit has finally softened and sweetened, and you'll be rewarded with a flavour like honey mixed with apricot and a touch of spice. These trees are tough, thriving in places where other fruit trees struggle. Some Amish families have had the same persimmon tree for generations, passing down not just the harvest, but the knowledge of how to care for it. Birds love the fruit as much as people do, so families often cover the trees with nets to save some for themselves. Persimmons don't rush, and neither do the Amish. They dry slices for snacks, make puddings, and even bake them into bread. Each bite tells a story of waiting, watching, and knowing just when the time is right. Number 6. Mulberry. Have you ever seen someone shaking a tree over a big sheet? No, they weren't trying to catch falling stars. They were harvesting mulberries the Amish way. This clever method can give you up to 60 pounds of sweet, juicy berries from just one tree. And best of all, it doesn't take much effort. Mulberry trees are smart choices for Amish farms because they don't need constant care. They plant them near chicken coops where other fruit trees might struggle. Chickens help clean up any insects that come looking for fallen fruit, making it nature's own pest control system. It's like having free farm helpers who also double as clean-up crew. These trees do more than feed people. Chickens and pigs love the fallen berries too, so nothing goes to waste. Some Amish families even collect the leaves to feed silkworms, a tradition passed down from their ancestors. Mulberries taste great in jams, pies, and fresh snacks. Kids often get excited when it's harvest time, not just for the fruit, but for the fun of holding the sheet while someone shakes the tree. And unlike many fruits that spoil fast, mulberries freeze well. That means Amish families can enjoy their sweet flavour long after summer ends. Number 7. Elderberry. When autumn rolls around in Amish country, you'll often find families gathering around elderberry bushes, harvesting clusters of dark purple berries that look like tiny jewels. These berries might not taste great raw. They're a bit bitter and bland when fresh. But the Amish have known for generations that they hold powerful secrets inside. Instead of eating them straight from the bush, Amish families turn these berries into something special: immune-boosting syrup that helps keep colds and flu at bay through the winter months. And guess what? Modern science backs this up. Studies show that elderberry extract can reduce the duration of cold and flu symptoms by up to 4 days. That's like turning a week-long illness into just a few days of sniffles. The Amish way of harvesting elderberries is both practical and efficient. They collect the berries carefully, making sure to separate them from their stems, which can be toxic if not removed properly. Then they simmer them with a bit of honey and spices like cinnamon and cloves, creating a rich, fragrant syrup that tastes as good as it heals. But elderberries aren't just medicine. They also feed birds, attract pollinators, and help create a balanced ecosystem on Amish farms. Some families even use the delicate white blossoms to make a refreshing cordial or tea believed to help reduce fevers. Elderberry bushes are tough and easy to grow, thriving without much attention. They don't need fancy fertilizers or constant pruning, just a little space and time, and once established, they produce year after year, quietly supporting both people and wildlife. Number 8. Gooseberries. If you've never tasted a gooseberry, you're missing out on one of summer's first sweet tart surprises. These small, round berries arrive just when fresh fruit is still scarce, making them a favourite in Amish gardens. They might not look like much, tiny and often covered in fine hairs, but bite into one and you'll discover a burst of flavour that's both tangy and refreshing. Amish families have been growing gooseberries for generations, quietly preserving varieties that most of the world forgot. During Prohibition, when gooseberry growing was banned in many places due to their link to plant diseases, Amish communities kept these plants alive, protecting their genetic heritage. Today, they continue to grow them with care, choosing thornless and disease-resistant types that make harvesting easier. Gooseberries come in green, red, and even white varieties, each with its own unique flavour profile. Some taste like grapes with a twist, while others lean more towards citrus or pineapple. In Amish kitchens, they turn up in jams, pies, sauces, and even savoury chutneys that pair perfectly with roasted meats. These bushes are tough and productive, thriving with little attention once established. They don't mind cooler spots in the garden and can live for up to 25 years, producing year after year. Children often help with picking, learning early how to handle these tart treasures without flinching. Gooseberries remind us that not all great fruits need to be big or flashy. Sometimes, the best flavours come in small, overlooked packages, and the Amish have known this all along. Number 9. Currants. Step into an Amish garden during summer, and you might spot clusters of currants hanging like little jewels on low-growing bushes. These tiny berries come in red, white, and black varieties, each bursting with intense flavour that punches way above their size. While they might not be as flashy as strawberries or blueberries, currants have been quietly winning the hearts of Amish families for generations. And for good reason. Currants pack a powerful punch when it comes to both taste and nutrition. They're loaded with vitamin C, even more than oranges. making them perfect for homemade syrups and tonics that help fight off colds during long winters. Amish cooks love using them in jams, jellies, and baked goods where their tartness adds depth and character. A small handful can transform an ordinary dessert into something special, giving it a rich, complex flavour that store-bought fruits just can't match. These bushes are tough and productive, thriving with minimal care once established. They don't need fancy fertilisers or constant pruning, which makes them perfect for busy Amish households. Families often propagate new plants from cuttings, turning one bush into many without spending a dime. This kind of self-sufficiency fits perfectly with Amish values of resourcefulness and independence. Currants also play a practical role in the garden beyond just providing fruit. Their strong root systems help prevent erosion on sloped land, making them ideal for planting along hillsides. Children often help with harvesting, learning early how a small plant can give so much in return. And while currants may not shout for attention like other fruits, they deliver year after year. Quiet, reliable, and full of surprises. Number 10. Lingonberry. If you've got a patch of acidic soil that won't grow much else, don't throw in the trowel just yet. The Amish have a secret weapon for spots like that: lingonberries. These small, bright red berries might not look like much, but they pack big flavour and even bigger usefulness in Amish gardens. Lingonberries are ground-hugging evergreens that thrive where most fruit plants struggle. They don't ask for rich soil or perfect conditions. In fact, they do best in sandy, acidic places many gardeners would call a lost cause. That's why Amish families love them. They turn problem areas into productive ones with very little effort. Once planted, lingonberries settle in and start spreading slowly, forming a dense carpet that suppresses weeds and holds the soil together. This makes them perfect for planting along paths, under trees, or near buildings where other plants might fail. And once established, they keep producing for decades. Some Amish growers have patches that have been bearing fruit for 30 years or more. Now that's what you call a long-term investment. What makes these berries especially valuable is their natural preservative quality. They contain benzoic acid, which helps them stay fresh longer and allows Amish cooks to store them without canning or freezing. A simple drying method keeps them usable all winter, making them ideal for trail snacks, baking, or adding tangy flavour to meats and sauces. Harvest time comes twice a year, once in late summer and again in fall. Kids often help collect the berries, learning early how to spot ripe ones and leave the green ones to mature. The tart taste might make your face scrunch up at first, but that same sharpness makes them perfect for jams, syrups, and sauces that balance sweet and sour beautifully. Lingonberries aren't flashy, but they're tough, useful, and quietly productive, just like many Amish growing methods. And as we move forward, there's still more to uncover about how these communities make the most out of every plant they grow. Number 11. Hardy Northern Champions. When it comes to growing fruit in cold climates, most people assume only the toughest plants can survive. But for the Amish, thriving in chilly conditions isn't just about survival. It's about smart choices and time-tested selections. These are the hardy Northern Champions, fruit trees that laugh at frost, shrug off snow, and still manage to deliver sweet, abundant harvests with minimal fuss. One of the top performers in this group is sea buckthorn, a small shrub with bright orange berries that look like tiny suns hanging from the branches. Don't let their size fool you. These berries pack more vitamin C than oranges and contain rare omega-7 fatty acids that support skin health and digestion. The Amish love how sea buckthorn thrives in poor soil where other plants struggle, making it perfect for reclaiming difficult areas. Plus, harvesting is easy. Wait until winter, when the berries freeze solid, Then simply shake them off the branches without damaging the plant. Another northern favourite is the crabapple. Sure, they're small and tart, but that's exactly what makes them so valuable. Their high natural pectin content helps turn runny jams into thick, spreadable preserves without needing commercial additives. Amish families often plant crabapples near standard apple trees to improve cross-pollination and boost overall orchard yields. And while they might not be the first choice for fresh eating, once cooked down with a bit of honey or sugar, crabapples become rich, flavourful jellies that fill pantries all winter long. Then there's the surprising cold climate peach. Most assume peaches need warm southern sun, but the Amish have found ways to grow them even in chilly regions. By selecting hardy varieties and planting them in sheltered spots, like against south-facing walls, they create microclimates that protect blossoms from late frosts. The result? Juicy, sweet peaches that thrive where you'd least expect them. Unlike store-bought peaches bred for appearance, Amish-grown varieties focus on flavour, often eaten with the skin on for extra nutrition. These hardy northern champions show that with the right approach, cold weather doesn't have to limit your fruit-growing dreams. And as we keep exploring, there's still more to uncover about how the Amish make the most out of every season. Number 12. Sea buckthorn. Step into an Amish farm in late summer or early winter, and you might spot clusters of bright orange berries clinging to thorny branches. That's sea buckthorn, a powerhouse fruit that looks like tiny suns frozen in place. Don't let its size fool you. This little berry packs more vitamin C than oranges and is loaded with rare omega-7 fatty acids that support skin health and digestion. It's no wonder the Amish have made it a staple in their orchards and medicine cabinets. Sea buckthorn thrives where most other fruit plants would struggle. It laughs at poor soil, shrugs off drought, and grows happily in areas many would consider unusable. For the Amish, who value self-sufficiency and making the most of every inch of land, sea buckthorn is a perfect fit. They often plant it along borders or in neglected corners, transforming problem spots into productive zones without extra effort. Harvesting sea buckthorn is easier than it looks. The Amish wait until winter when the berries freeze solid on the branches. Then they simply shake them off without damaging the plant. This clever method saves time and energy while ensuring a clean harvest. Once collected, the berries go into everything from homemade salves for chapped hands to syrups that help fight off colds during long winters. Amish families also appreciate how sea buckthorn supports the land. Its deep roots prevent erosion and improve soil structure over time. Birds love the berries too, creating a natural balance that keeps insect populations in check. Some Amish elders still joke about sea buckthorn being the only plant that can outlast a New Year's resolution. And they're not wrong. This tough, nutrient-rich berry is just another example of how the Amish find value in what others might overlook. And there's still more to uncover, so let's keep going. Number 13. Crabapple. When it comes to making jams and jellies that set perfectly without any fuss, the Amish have a secret weapon: the crabapple. These small, tart fruits might not win any beauty contests, but they're packed with natural pectin, turning runny fruit mixtures into thick, spreadable preserves with ease. Amish families plant crabapples strategically throughout their orchards, often near standard apple trees to improve cross-pollination and boost overall yields. This clever companion planting ensures both types of trees thrive without needing extra help from farmers. And when fall arrives, the branches burst with clusters of tiny fruits just waiting to be turned into something delicious. Crabapples are more than just kitchen helpers. They're also stunning ornamental trees. In spring, their delicate pink or white blossoms create breathtaking displays across Amish landscapes. Unlike purely decorative varieties, though, these crabapples serve a dual purpose: beauty and bounty. Some Amish gardeners even say they're like The perfect in-law, bitter at first meeting, but makes the sweetest jelly in town. Processing crab apples is simple. They don't need fancy equipment or complicated steps. Just a little heat, some sugar, and maybe a few other fruits to balance out their sharp flavour. The result? Deep red jellies and sauces that become pantry staples, often given as welcome gifts to new neighbours or those recovering from illness. These tough, reliable trees fit perfectly into the Amish way of life, thriving with minimal care while offering abundant rewards. And as we continue exploring Amish-grown fruit trees, there's still more to uncover about how these communities make the most out of every harvest. Number 14. Cold climate peaches. When most people think of peaches, they imagine warm southern sunshine and gentle breezes. But the Amish have proven that with a little wisdom and some clever growing techniques, juicy peaches can thrive even in cold northern regions. These aren't your average store-bought peaches. These are hardy varieties selected over generations for their ability to survive late spring frosts that would destroy ordinary trees. Amish farmers have mastered the art of creating microclimates to protect their peach trees. They often plant them against south-facing walls where the sun's warmth reflects back onto the branches, giving them a few extra degrees of protection. Some families use straw bales as windbreaks around young trees, forming natural barriers that shield delicate blossoms from harsh winds. Unlike commercial growers obsessed with perfect appearance, Amish orchardists care more about flavour than looks, often leaving the skin on when baking or making preserves because it adds texture and nutrition. The real secret to success lies in choosing the right varieties. The Amish grow types like Reliance and Polly, which are known for their cold tolerance and sweet flavour. These peaches might not be perfectly smooth or glossy, but once baked into a pie or turned into jam, they deliver rich, complex sweetness that store-bought peaches can't match. And while modern agriculture chases perfection, the Amish stick with what works, proving once again that with patience, planning and a little help from nature, even peaches can call the coldest corners of the country home. Number 15. Nanking cherry. Have you ever wanted to grow cherries but thought they were too much work? The Amish have a solution: the Nanking cherry. This low-growing shrub brings all the sweet tart flavour of traditional cherries without any of the hassle. No ladders, no climbing, and, best of all, no back pain from trying to reach the highest branches. Nanking cherries grow happily in Amish gardens as compact bushes, rarely reaching more than waist height. This makes them perfect for families who want fresh fruit without spending hours on maintenance. Kids can help with harvesting, picking the bright red berries right from the ground. Unlike standard cherry trees that require careful pruning and protection from late frosts, Nanking cherries are tough and dependable. They bloom early, often surviving spring cold snaps that would ruin other fruit blossoms. The flavour is intense, sweet with just the right amount of tartness. Some say they taste like a mix between raspberries and cherries, while others compare them to blueberries with a wild twist. In Amish kitchens, these berries turn into jams, pies, syrups, and even fermented drinks that keep well through winter. 1. Amish elder joked, "These cherries are proof that the good Lord wanted seniors to enjoy cherries without needing a chiropractor." Beyond their fruit, Nanking cherry bushes serve another purpose. Their dense growth makes excellent hedging, offering privacy and wind protection around homesteads. Birds love them too, helping control insect populations naturally. And unlike many fruits that demand perfect conditions, Nanking cherries thrive with minimal care, exactly how the Amish like it. Number 16. Jostaberry. If you're looking for a berry that combines the best traits of its parents and adds a few superpowers of its own, meet the Jostaberry. This unique hybrid, born from a mix of blackcurrant gooseberry and European gooseberry, has found a happy home in Amish gardens where practicality meets flavour. It's not flashy, but what it lacks in looks, it more than makes up for in taste, productivity, and ease of care. Jostaberries start out tart and gradually ripen to a sweet tart flavour that Amish cooks love using in jams, pies, and even savoury sauces. Some say they have a rich, complex taste that's hard to find in other berries, like a cross between currants and blueberries with just a hint of spice. And unlike many berries that come with thorns or need special handling, Jostaberries grow on thornless bushes that make harvesting simple and safe, even for kids. Amish families appreciate how tough these plants are. They resist many of the diseases that plague their parent plants, meaning less spraying and fewer worries about losing an entire crop. They also handle poor soil better than most fruit bushes, thriving even in clay-heavy conditions where other berries might struggle. This kind of resilience fits perfectly with the Amish way of growing food: minimal fuss, maximum reward. The bushes grow upright and don't require much pruning, making them perfect for small spaces or mixed plantings around homesteads. Birds love them too, helping control pests naturally while enjoying a seasonal treat. And here's the best part. One mature Jostaberry bush can produce gallons of berries each season. That's a lot of jam, syrup, and fresh snacks from just one plant. No wonder Amish gardeners call it the upgrade from traditional berries that actually works. So if you're tired of fighting with finicky plants, maybe it's time to give Jostaberries a try. Nature's way of saying, you've got this. Number 17. Hazelnuts might not grow on tall trees, but don't let their low profile fool you. These woody bushes are powerhouses of nutrition and practicality in Amish gardens. Packed with protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals, they're the kind of plant that keeps on giving without demanding much in return. That's exactly why Amish families love them. These hardy shrubs thrive with minimal care, making them perfect for busy homesteads where time is precious. A single mature hazelnut bush can produce up to 25 pounds of nuts each season, more than enough to feed a family and still have extras for trading or selling. And unlike many fruit trees that need special attention, hazelnuts grow well in partial shade, filling in those awkward corners of the farm where other plants might struggle. Amish communities often plant them in hedges or windbreaks, combining practicality with productivity. These living fences provide privacy, block cold winds, and attract beneficial birds, all while producing tasty, nutritious nuts. Some Amish elders joke that hazelnuts are like a person's pension fund, a tough outer shell protecting small but reliable rewards inside. Harvesting is simple. Once the nuts fall naturally from the bushes, families collect them in baskets or even old blankets spread on the ground. A quick roast over low heat enhances their rich, nutty flavour without needing fancy equipment. Shells can be saved and returned to the garden as mulch, another example of the Amish zero-waste approach to farming. Children especially look forward to hazelnut season. They learn patience watching the nuts develop inside their protective husks through summer, then help gather and crack them once they ripen. It's a hands-on lesson in seasonal rhythms and nature's timing. Hazelnuts store well too. When dried properly, they keep for months without refrigeration, perfect for snacking, baking, or adding to winter meals. Some Amish families make homemade nut butter or grind them into flour for special treats. And while they may not shout for attention like flashy fruits, hazelnuts quietly deliver year after year, just the way the Amish like it. Number 18. Black walnut. The Amish tree of strength and flavour. There's a tree that stands tall on Amish land, offering both challenge and reward. The black walnut. This native giant doesn't mess around. It grows strong and proud, producing richly flavoured nuts encased in thick green husks that stain hands brown for days. You can always tell who's been gathering them. Their hands look like they've been working in a coal mine. Black walnuts aren't for the impatient. They take time to mature, sometimes waiting decades before bearing serious crops. But once they start producing, they keep going for generations. Some Amish families have trees that have been feeding their communities for over 100 years. Now that's what you call long-term planning. The Amish value these trees not just for their nuts, but for their tough, shock-resistant wood. It's prized for furniture, tool handles, and even specialty items like gun stocks. Properly seasoned hickory might be strong, but black walnut? That's in a league of its own. Amish woodworkers often seek out older trees, knowing the grain deepens with age, creating pieces that are both beautiful and durable. But there's more to black walnuts than just nuts and wood. These trees come with a built-in weed control system. Their roots release a natural chemical called juglone, which prevents many plants from growing nearby. While this makes companion planting tricky, it also means fewer weeds to pull. Something busy Amish gardeners appreciate. Harvest time is a family affair. Kids learn early how to collect the fallen nuts, wearing gloves to protect their hands from the staining husks. Once gathered, the nuts go through a process of drying and cracking. No easy task, since the shells are famously tough. But inside those hard shells lies a prize worth the effort. Rich, earthy kernels that turn ordinary baked goods into something special. Black walnuts remind us that some of life's best rewards come from persistence. And as we continue exploring Amish-grown treasures, there's still more to uncover about how these communities make the most out of every plant they grow. Number 19. Hickory trees stand tall on Amish land, known for their strength, sweetness, and surprising versatility. These native giants produce rich, smoky-flavoured nuts that Amish families have been harvesting for generations. Unlike more delicate nut trees, hickory thrives without extra care, making it a perfect fit for low-maintenance orchards. The nuts are calorie-dense and packed with nutrients, providing essential energy during long winters. Amish cooks love using them in baking, turning simple cookies and breads into something special. Some families even dry the nuts and grind them into flour for hearty pancakes or thickening stews. Beyond food, hickory wood is legendary, tough, shock-resistant, and prized for tool handles, furniture, and even smoking meats. Harvesting hickory nuts is a family event. When autumn winds blow, kids and adults gather under the trees, collecting the fallen bounty. The hard outer shells split open when dry, revealing the sweet treasures inside. Hickory also plays a role in Amish cooking beyond the nuts. The bark is used to make smoky syrups and flavourings that bring depth to sauces and meats. And here's a fun twist. Hickory trees are like old friendships, slow to start, strong over time, and always reliable. They don't rush, they don't complain, and they keep giving year after year, exactly how the Amish like it. Number 20. Chinese chestnut step into an Amish farmstead in late autumn, and you might spot families gathering under a tree that gives more than just fruit, the Chinese chestnut. These sturdy trees have found a special place in Amish orchards for their reliable harvests, tough nature, and surprising versatility. Unlike many nut trees that demand perfect conditions, Chinese chestnuts thrive with minimal care, making them perfect for the Amish way of life. These trees are tough as nails, resisting blight that once devastated Native American chestnut populations. Amish growers appreciate this resilience, knowing they can plant a tree and expect it to produce for generations. A single mature tree can drop hundreds of spiky burrs each fall, each one holding a few shiny brown nuts inside. Harvesting is simple. Wait for the burrs to split open naturally, then collect the sweet starchy nuts that store far better than many other fresh foods. Chinese chestnuts aren't just food, they're protection too. Their thick, spreading branches make excellent windbreaks, shielding homes and gardens from harsh winter winds. Some Amish families even use the wood for furniture or fence posts, valuing its strength and durability. And unlike many fruits that spoil fast, chestnuts keep well through winter when stored properly, often tucked away in cool cellars alongside root vegetables. Amish cooks love how these nuts add heartiness to meals. Roasted over a fire, they turn soft and sweet, filling homestead kitchens with rich, nutty aromas. Dried and ground into flour, they become the base for hearty breads and cakes that sustain families through cold months. Children especially look forward to chestnut season, helping crack open the hard shells and sneaking a few raw bites before they disappear into holiday recipes. And here's the best part. Once established, Chinese chestnuts ask for almost nothing in return. No fancy fertilizers, no constant pruning, just good soil and space to grow. It's no wonder the Amish call them the giving tree, because once planted, they keep on giving year after year. Number 21, Cornelian cherry. Step into an Amish farm in early spring, and you might spot a shrub covered in tiny yellow flowers long before most trees have woken up from winter. That's the Cornelian cherry, a quiet but powerful plant that's been growing in Amish gardens for generations. It might not look like much at first, but this tough shrub produces tart red fruits perfect for preserves, syrups, and even fermented drinks. Cornelian cherries are part of the dogwood family, but unlike their ornamental cousins, these plants deliver something extra. Edible fruit. The berries start hard and sour in late summer, but soften and sweeten over time. Amish cooks love turning them into jams and sauces that brighten up winter meals with their deep red colour and rich flavour. Some families even dry the fruits for snacks that last through the cold months. One of the best things about Cornelian cherries is how little they ask for in return. These plants don't need fancy soil or constant care. They just grow. They resist pests naturally, thrive in full sun or partial shade, and laugh off harsh winters without complaint. This makes them perfect for Amish farmers who value plants that work with nature instead of against it. But here's the real kicker. Cornelian cherry trees live for a very long time. Some Amish families have trees that are over 100 years old, still producing fruit for new generations to enjoy. That kind of longevity is rare in today's fast-growing world, and it shows how the Amish think in terms of decades, not just seasons. And as we keep exploring Amish-grown wonders, there's still more to uncover about how these communities make the most out of every plant they grow. Number 22, wild plums. Step into an Amish farm during late summer or early autumn, and you might spot clusters of wild plums ripening along fence lines and woodland edges. These native treasures thrive with minimal care, making them a favourite among Amish families who value plants that work with nature instead of against it. Unlike high-maintenance fruit trees that demand perfect conditions, wild plums flourish in places many would consider difficult. Rocky soil, dry slopes, even partial shade. Amish communities have been growing these resilient natives for generations, quietly preserving genetic diversity that commercial agriculture has largely forgotten. The result? Small, intensely flavoured fruits that burst with sweet tart goodness. Some say they taste like sunshine wrapped in a hint of spice. Far more complex than their store-bought cousins. These plums aren't just about flavour. They serve multiple purposes on Amish homesteads. Families often plant them as living fences, creating natural privacy screens while producing food. Birds love them too, helping control insect populations naturally without the need for chemical sprays. Harvest time is a family event. Children learn early how to tell when the plums are ready. Slightly soft, deeply coloured, and full of juice. Once picked, they turn into jams, syrups, and even dried snacks that keep well through winter. Some Amish elders joke that wild plums teach two important lessons: patience and timing, because picking them too soon means missing out on all the sweetness. Wild plums also support pollinators and wildlife, making them valuable beyond the kitchen. Their spring blossoms provide early nectar for bees, strengthening the entire farm ecosystem. And unlike many modern hybrids bred for size and shelf life, wild plums focus on what really matters: deep flavour and strong roots. And here's the best part. Once established, wild plum trees ask for almost nothing in return. No fancy fertilisers, no constant pruning, just good soil and space to grow. It's no wonder the Amish call them nature's way of saying, "You've got this." Number 23. Quince step into an Amish kitchen in the fall, and you might spot a strange-looking fruit sitting on the counter. It looks like a lumpy yellow potato, but fills the room with an intoxicating fragrance. That's quince, an ancient fruit that defies expectations. Unlike apples or peaches that can be eaten fresh, quince needs time, heat, and a little patience before revealing its true magic. Amish families have been growing quince for generations, passing down recipes and traditions that make the most of this unique fruit. When raw, quince is rock hard, bitter, and completely inedible. But once cooked, it transforms from pale yellow to deep rose gold and develops a sweet, complex flavour that's often described as a mix between apple, pear, and citrus with a hint of spice. This slow transformation makes quince perfect for jams and jellies. A small amount adds incredible depth and natural pectin to preserves, helping other fruits set perfectly without commercial additives. Some Amish cooks make special quince pastes or whole preserved fruits that keep for months, enjoyed with cheese or as holiday treats. Quince trees are low maintenance and long-lived, fitting right into the Amish way of farming. They don't need much care, rarely suffer from pests, and produce reliable harvests year after year. Their fragrant blossoms in spring add beauty to homesteads, while their tough branches remind Amish growers of the value of endurance. Children learn early that quince teaches patience. It doesn't rush, and neither should those who want to enjoy it at its best. And as we continue exploring Amish-grown wonders, there's still more to uncover about how these communities make the most out of every plant they grow. Number 24, beach plum. If you've ever tried growing fruit in sandy, salty soil, you know the frustration. Most plants throw in the towel, but not the beach plum. This tough little native shrub thrives where others fail, and the Amish have been quietly growing it for years, turning problem spots into productive corners of their farms. Beach plums are like nature's way of saying, "Don't give up on that patch of land just yet." These hardy bushes laugh at poor soil, salt spray, and even drought, making them perfect for coastal areas or roadsides where winter salt ruins most plantings. Amish families appreciate how these shrubs take what would otherwise be wasted space and turn it into something sweet and useful. The berries themselves might be small, but they pack a big punch of flavour. Tart with a hint of almond, they make exceptional preserves that taste unlike anything you'll find in stores. In fact, some Amish communities sell beach plum jelly at local markets, a rare treat that sells out fast. Harvest time is a community event. Families gather to collect the deep purple fruits, often teaching younger generations how to spot the ripest ones. Once picked, the plums go straight into jams, sauces, or even fermented drinks that keep through the winter. Beyond food, beach plums offer another benefit: beauty. Their spring blossoms bring delicate white flowers to the landscape, while the fall foliage adds colour before winter sets in. Birds love them too, helping control pests naturally. And here's the best part. Once established, beach plums ask for almost nothing in return. No fancy fertilisers, no constant pruning, just good drainage and space to spread. It's no wonder Amish growers call them the survivor of the shore. Number 25. Figure. If you've ever dreamed of growing figs but assumed they only thrive in warm Mediterranean climates, think again. The Amish have been quietly growing these tender trees for generations, even in chilly northern regions where frost is a regular visitor. With clever techniques and simple protection methods, They've turned this exotic fruit into a reliable part of their orchards. Figs aren't native to North America, but the Amish have made them feel right at home. They use age-old tricks like wrapping young trees in straw and burlap during winter, or planting them near south-facing walls that trap warmth. These low-tech solutions allow fig trees to survive freezing temperatures and still produce sweet, juicy fruits each summer. Some Amish families even have fig trees that are over 50 years old. Living proof that with a little care, these trees can thrive for decades. The flavour of a fresh Amish-grown fig is unforgettable, soft, rich, and naturally sweet. Unlike store-bought dried figs, which can be chewy and bland, these freshly harvested gems melt in your mouth. Amish cooks often drizzle them with honey or wrap them in cloth to preserve their delicate texture for special treats. Children especially look forward to fig season. They learn early how to spot when the fruits are ripe, slightly soft to the touch and deeply coloured. Unlike many fruits that need fancy equipment or complicated processing, figs are simple. Just pick, eat and enjoy. Beyond taste, fig trees offer another benefit: beauty. Their large, distinctive leaves create shade in summer, and their unique growth habit adds visual interest to Amish homesteads. And while they might not be the first tree you'd expect in a cold weather garden, the Amish have proven that with patience and planning, almost any plant can find a home, even if it comes from the other side of the world. Number 26. Hardy kiwi. Have you ever seen a kiwi that doesn't need a tropical climate to thrive? The Amish have mastered growing hardy kiwi, a vigorous vine that produces sweet, grape-sized fruits without the need for warm southern sun. These tiny powerhouses deliver all the flavour of their tropical cousins, but with the toughness needed to survive cold northern winters. Hardy kiwis start as climbing vines that Amish gardeners train on simple trellises. Once established, they can produce up to 100 pounds of fruit from a single mature plant, more than enough to fill pantries and share with neighbours. Unlike store-bought kiwis, these smooth-skinned berries don't need peeling. Just rinse and bite into a burst of sweet tropical flavour that surprises even seasoned gardeners. The Amish appreciate how easy these plants are to grow. They don't demand special soil or constant attention. A little pruning in late winter keeps them under control, and some families even let kids help with the task, turning it into a learning moment about plant care and seasonal rhythms. Beyond taste, hardy kiwis bring another bonus: nutrition. They pack more vitamin C than oranges, making them perfect for homemade syrups and preserves that keep the family healthy through winter. Some Amish cooks make special kiwi jams that maintain the bright green colour and unique flavour, bringing unexpected freshness to cold weather meals. And here's the best part: once these vines get going, they practically take care of themselves. No fancy tools, no complicated techniques. Just strong support, a little patience, and nature doing what it does best. That's the Amish way, growing more with less and letting the land do most of the work. Number 27. Plum varieties. Step into an Amish orchard during late summer or early fall, and you'll see plums in every colour imaginable: deep purple, bright red, golden green, even bluish white. These juicy gems showcase nature's artistic side, turning orchards into living palettes of colour while filling kitchens with rich, sweet tart flavours. Unlike commercial growers who often stick to just a few popular types, the Amish grow a wide range of plum varieties, each with its own unique taste, texture, and use. Some families grow European plums for drying into prunes, while others favour Japanese varieties that burst with fresh sweetness when ripe. The Amish appreciate how these different types extend the harvest season, ensuring a steady supply of fruit from early summer through late fall. And thanks to clever grafting techniques, many Amish orchardists grow multiple plum varieties on a single tree, maximising space while enjoying more diversity without needing a larger orchard. Plum trees play more than just a fruit-bearing role in Amish gardens. Their spring blossoms attract bees and other pollinators, helping the entire farm thrive. Some families plant them near nitrogen-fixing plants or beneficial herbs that naturally support tree health and deter pests. Another example of the Amish working with nature instead of against it. In Amish kitchens, plums turn into everything from jams and pies to dried fruit leather that keeps through winter. Children especially love the chewy treats made from sun-dried plums, often helping to spread sliced fruit on drying racks during autumn preparations. And here's the best part. Once established, plum trees ask for almost nothing in return. No fancy fertilizers, no constant pruning, just good soil and space to grow. It's no wonder the Amish call them nature's way of saying, "You've got this." Number 28. Cherries. When spring arrives in Amish country, one of the most beautiful sights is a cherry tree in full bloom. Clouds of pink and white blossoms that promise sweet tart rewards weeks later. But unlike commercial growers who chase perfection, the Amish grow cherries for flavour, resilience and tradition. These trees don't just produce fruit. They pass down harvests through generations. Amish families often prefer sour cherry varieties like Montmorency, which thrive in cooler climates without needing perfect conditions. These cherries might make your face pucker at first bite, but once baked into pies or turned into preserves, they transform into something magical. One Amish elder jokes, "Life is a lot like sour cherries. It can be hard to swallow at first, but add a little patience and sugar, and you end up with something worth sharing." Cherry trees on Amish farms are planted in pairs to improve pollination, ensuring heavier yields year after year. This companion planting method shows the Amish understanding of working with nature instead of against it. During harvest time, the whole family gets involved. Kids climb branches, adults shake limbs, and baskets fill quickly with ripe fruit. Nothing goes to waste. Even the pits are sometimes dried and sewn into warming pads for sore muscles during cold nights. Beyond fresh eating and baking, cherries play another role: natural health tonics. Amish cooks make vinegar from the fruit believed to aid digestion and joint health. Some families still follow old recipes passed down for decades, turning cherry season into more than just a treat. It becomes medicine, memory, and tradition all in one. And here's the best part. Once established, cherry trees ask for almost nothing in return. No fancy fertilizers, no constant pruning, just good soil and space to grow. It's no wonder the Amish call them nature's way of saying, "You've got this." Number 28. Cherries. When spring arrives in Amish country, one of the most beautiful sights is a cherry tree in full bloom. Clouds of pink and white blossoms that promise sweet tart rewards weeks later. But unlike commercial growers who chase perfection, the Amish grow cherries for flavour, resilience, and tradition. These trees don't just produce fruit, they pass down harvests through generations. Amish families often prefer sour cherry varieties like Montmorency, which thrive in cooler climates without needing perfect conditions. These cherries might make your face pucker at first bite, but once baked into pies or turned into preserves, they transform into something magical. One Amish elder jokes, "Life is a lot like sour cherries. It can be hard to swallow at first, but add a little patience and sugar, and you end up with something worth sharing." Cherry trees on Amish farms are planted in pairs to improve pollination, ensuring heavier yields year after year. This companion planting method shows the Amish understanding of working with nature instead of against it. During harvest time, the whole family gets involved. Kids climb branches, adults shake limbs, and baskets fill quickly with ripe fruit. Nothing goes to waste. Even the pits are sometimes dried and sewn into warming pads for sore muscles during cold nights. Beyond fresh eating and baking, cherries play another role: natural health tonics. Amish cooks make vinegar from the fruit, believed to aid digestion and joint health. Some families still follow old recipes passed down for decades, turning cherry season into more than just a treat. It becomes medicine, memory, and tradition, all in one. And here's the best part. Once established, cherry trees ask for almost nothing in return. No fancy fertilizers, no constant pruning, just good soil and space to grow. It's no wonder the Amish call them nature's way of saying, "You've got this." 29 Asian pears. Step into an Amish orchard and you might spot something surprising. Trees that produce fruit so crisp and juicy, they seem like a mix between apples and pears. These are Asian pears, and the Amish have been growing them for years, quietly enjoying their unique qualities without much fuss. Unlike standard pears that soften quickly after picking, Asian pears stay crisp for months in cool storage, making them perfect for long winters when fresh fruit is hard to come by. Amish families love how easy these trees are to grow. They don't need fancy sprays or constant pruning, just good soil and space to stretch their branches. Some Amish growers even joke that Asian pears are like old friends. Reliable, low maintenance, and always sweet when you need them. Their thin skin makes them easy to eat without peeling, saving time in busy kitchens where every minute counts. The flavour is mild, yet refreshing, with a hint of honey-like sweetness that lingers on the tongue. Some Amish cooks use them in pies and sauces, while others enjoy them fresh as a snack or sliced into salads. Drying is another popular method, turning ripe slices into chewy treats that keep through winter without refrigeration. Children especially look forward to harvest time. They help pick the fruit, learning early how to tell when the pears are ready, slightly firm but full of juice. Birds also love them, creating a natural balance that keeps insect populations in check without chemical sprays. And here's the best part. Once established, Asian pear trees ask for almost nothing in return. No fancy fertilizers, no complicated care routines, just time and patience. It's no wonder the Amish call them nature's way of saying, "You've got this." 30 Pomegranate, the Amish secret to ancient flavour in northern gardens. When most people think of pomegranates, they imagine warm Mediterranean climates and ancient traditions. But the Amish have found a way to grow these jewel-like fruits even in cooler northern regions, proving once again that with a little wisdom and careful planning, almost any plant can find a home. Pomegranates might not be native to North America, but Amish gardeners have quietly adopted them over generations. These tough, drought-tolerant shrubs thrive in well-drained soil and full sun, making them perfect for planting near homesteads where warmth is naturally trapped. Some Amish families even use straw mulch or position them against south-facing walls to give them that extra bit of winter protection. The fruit itself is a marvel, packed with sweet tart seeds called arils that burst with flavour. Rich in antioxidants and vitamins, pomegranates have long been valued for their health benefits. Amish cooks use them in syrups, sauces, and even fermented drinks that keep through the colder months. A small amount of freshly pressed pomegranate juice can add depth and complexity to both sweet and savoury dishes, much like the Amish approach to life. Simple ingredients made extraordinary through patience and care. One of the most surprising things about pomegranates is how tough they are. Once established, these plants ask for very little. No fancy fertilizers, no constant pruning, just time and space to grow. Their deep roots help them survive dry spells, and their natural resistance to pests makes them ideal for organic growing methods. Children in Amish communities often help harvest the fruit in late autumn, learning early how to spot when the leathery skins turn from green to deep red, a sign that the treasure inside is ready. Some families save the seeds each year, drying them for future planting, and continuing a quiet tradition passed down through generations. And here's the best part. Pomegranate trees live for decades, sometimes even centuries. That means one carefully planted tree can feed multiple generations, standing as a living testament to patience, planning, and the timeless value of growing your own food. It's just another example of how the Amish make the most out of every plant they grow, quietly preserving knowledge, sustainability, and flavour for years to come. As we've seen, the Amish have mastered the art of growing fruit trees that thrive with minimal effort while delivering maximum reward. From the tropical-tasting pawpaw to the frost-resistant Nanking cherry, these 30 remarkable trees showcase generations of wisdom, patience, and a deep understanding of nature's rhythms. Unlike modern agriculture that often relies on chemicals and intensive care, Amish orchards flourish through simplicity, sustainability, and smart selection. These trees aren't just about food, they're about resilience. They grow in poor soil, withstand harsh winters, and provide nourishment long after other fruits have spoiled. They teach lessons in patience, like the medlar that must rot before it's sweet, or the quince that transforms only with time and heat. They offer medicine, beauty, and even natural pest control, proving that every tree has a purpose beyond just its fruit. For the Amish, growing these trees isn't about trends or convenience stores. It's about tradition, self-reliance, and living in harmony with the land. These are trees that feed families, support pollinators, and even become heirlooms passed down through generations. So whether you're a backyard gardener or simply someone who appreciates good food and sustainable living, there's a lot to learn from the Amish approach, because sometimes the best way forward is to look back and plant something old, something strong, and something that knows how to survive.